descriptively. Okay, let's start off with e4. Oh, the French defense. Okay. Let's play the win hour variation or the classical. Yeah, so he goes for this pretty quickly. This is one of the standard setups. I get rid of the dark squared bishop, leaving him with the light squared bad bishop, but my center is can come under fire. It's a little bit weak. It looks impressive at the moment, but it's not so easy to hold on to. But this is all a pretty standard way of playing. So at some point I might take there. Wonder what to do first. I mean, having given up the dark squared bishop, I don't have any protection on this diagonal, which can be a problem sometimes. There's in this position right here, isn't there the move knight to b5? I should always look for that whenever. Yeah, I played knight f3 quickly. After he plays c5, it gives up this, that d6 square. So I could have maybe played it on the move before. So let's try it here. What happens? What could go wrong here? He just castles. Okay, I'll plunk my knight down on that square. Looks like a good one. Yeah, so there's the center. My center is starting to dissolve a bit by bit. This knight sort of blocks out his queen, which is over here on e7. Yeah, so he goes after the center once again. So I could take this knight. Could take the bishop. He's about to. He is about to win a pawn here and then leave my knight hanging. I might have some pressure against his e-pawn there, like if I were to play queen e7, e2 rather. So let's think about this. Queen e2, he takes, I take, knight takes, and I can't take back. So maybe I have to start with knight takes. He takes with the pawn. And queen e2, he takes, I take. The knight takes, I take with the queen. Or I could throw in knight takes on c8 at some point. It's a little bit tricky because I have not gotten castled. So maybe I should try and speed this up somehow. So anyway, that move comes with tempo at least. I guess queen to e2 also allows castling. I was wondering if there's some way I could develop this bishop with tempo. That would be helpful. But, okay, so after I play queen e2, he takes, I take. If he takes there, I take the knight, so that's not good. So after he takes, I take. It's his move. And is there something he can do to stop me from castling? Don't see it, so I think I'll be able to castle queenside here. Let's see, he can't bring his bishop out to a6 there. I've got that covered. So my knight, as a last-ditch measure, could always escape by taking his bishop. I don't like that my bishop is blocked in. I suspect I've done something wrong from an opening theory point of view, but anyway, I'm not quite sure what. Okay, and black is pausing to think here. So yeah, I can unravel by castling queenside, playing the g-pawn forward 1 or 2 squares, and bringing the bishop out on this diagonal. He can try and pile up more pressure on this pawn. Yeah, that's probably the simplest thing. If he just plays rook takes, or rook to rook to f5, looks like a good move here, right? Rook f5 threatening rook takes. Rook f5 threatening rook takes e5. What do I do about that? If I castle, then he takes the pawn, and then I have 2 pieces hanging, the queen and the knight. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like rook f5 is a winning move here. Oops. Oops. Well, when I take the bishop, rook f5, I take the bishop, it attacks his queen. Ah, so he goes there. So he saves me. Off the hook. Let's get 1 piece off of that. Get 1 piece off of that E file. That'll solve some of my problems. Okay, that was his idea. So he goes there with the bishop. And now, where do I put the queen? Yeah, this looks good for black, actually, because my knight at the end is going to be trapped. Yeah, so that was his idea with the a5 move. I didn't get that. He can play bishop to a6, and it's supported by his rook. So I could give up the queen for a rook and a bishop. Queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes. Then he takes his pawn, and well, my knight at least has a square to run to at that point. So, but it all looks bad, actually. Everything looks bad. Ah, he couldn't have played rook f5 because my knight was covering that square. Okay, that makes sense. So can I move my queen with some kind of threat? Oh, I know. Maybe I should just block this. Well, it's a try anyway. If he takes, then my rook is supporting the pawn. That should be helpful. I mean, supporting the knight. If he takes with the pawn, if he takes with the bishop, I will just take it. Okay, so he brings his queen out with tempo. Ah, he's ganging up once again. Ganging up on that e-pawn. Okay, what next? You can just take it, I think. But maybe he's looking for something better. He has a check here, but that just drives me further into the corner and takes his queen away from pressure on the e-pawn. Maybe he's trying to figure out if my knight is still really trapped there. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Yeah, so he just takes. So if I try to avoid the queen trade, then I sadly will lose my knight. Correct? There's no way for me to move the queen somewhere that attacks something. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these pawns in the area. Maybe this will give my knight a way out of its little box there. It's kind of funny. Okay, he took the bishop first. Does that matter? Can I throw in a tempo move like pawn takes? Don't think so. Yeah, so whichever way he takes, I'm going to have an escape square for my knight. He's going to have a good endgame with the 2 pawns, but I have saved my knight. Yeah, so he decides to let my knight out on this side, so let's check. Can't go here, here, here. I could go here. That's a possibility. I could go here, and then those are all out. So I have two squares I can go to. Let's count the pawns. I have 4 pawns. He has 5. I have a majority on the queen side. He has a majority in the middle. If I attack his knight, let's do this first. Where is that knight going? Rather than just saving my knight immediately. Not so easy for him to defend it. I don't see a way for him to defend it. Well, maybe he can move it. If he moves it here, I'll take it and then grab the pawn. If he moves it somewhere else, I'll probably just take the pawn. What if he comes over here and attacks this pawn? I could kick it. He could come here, hitting my rook. Okay, so he goes for a trade here. Let's. Can I do a double attack though? I attack the knight. He attacks my. I attack the rook. So he's got 2 pieces hanging. He can counterattack my knight, but then I can grab his knight. He grabs my knight and I get the pawn. That's what I'm after. Ah, he can defend his knight, but then I take the rook. Yeah, so he attacks my knight, and let's take his knight. Let's take this pawn. So back to material equality. He has a passed pawn. He has that. Ah, okay. So let's do this. I don't want to allow that check there. Can take a pawn here. I can take a pawn threatening mate. He's got a back rank issue here, doesn't he? He doesn't. He does not have a back rank issue, he says. Yeah, I was misreading that. Okay. So when I go check, his king is coming here. Okay, I'm taking, he takes with check. Okay, let's see what's next. Probably he should move his king out now. King to f7 looks like a good move to me. Because then I have to move my pawn, and he can start grabbing these pawns over here. Double rook endgames can be pretty complicated. I don't know much about them. So I don't know the state of this, but it looks like black has the edge here. Looks like he can mop up more of these pawns. He can start to threaten those checkmates. Let's see. So don't want to allow him to checkmate me. Yeah, so he just starts taking pawns. Okay, this threatens a checkmate. So he doesn't have time to take another pawn. Let's see, then I can push this guy forward. He goes after that. Let's keep pushing it forward. Oh, and that's a mate. Too quick. Too quick. Okay, so he got me. I think I will upload this anyway. It looked like an interesting game, and we will check it out with the chess engine. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.